Welcome to Run and Taste, where we take a look at movies under 50% and tell you what we think about them. And happy Halloween, folks. We've been doing horror movies all month, and this is
Mm.
the first episode. I guess you can kind of say we're bending the rules. We're not breaking them, we're bending them because we've always done this podcast saying we're only looking at movies that are 50% and under on Rotten Tomatoes. But today we're doing Sharks of the Corn, which has zero reviews. So we're just going to consider this a 0%. And
Or below.
I mean, I know technically this would be very low. Yes, this would be a 0%. So it has no critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hmm.
Go figure. Um,
Yeah.
so yes, we are doing Sharks of the Corn. The reason, Soto, is because of you.
Hmm.
Why didn't you
Yeah.
explain why you picked this while you're going through your Tubi selections?
Well, to be quite honest, I just wanted to know how the hell a movie like this would be possible and how sharks would be swimming around in cornfields. And so I was very curious as to find out exactly what the plot of this would be. And boy, did it not let me down. Or actually, it let me down in every conceivable way. Wow.
Well, did it let you down? I don't know what you're considering. I mean, this, in all sense, as we just talked about right before we started
Yeah.
recording,
Hmm.
is a college film. You can tell the acting is horrible. The special
Oh my
effects
God.
are horrible. Everything is horrible in this
Yes.
movie. And
Uh-huh.
I don't even know, I don't want to compare it to, but like Sharknado. That is meant to be a cheesy movie, and I'm just picking a shark movie. But the
Sure.
look, the look to it at all, at least it had, for lack of better terms, a Hollywood feel to it, and somewhat of actors. Well, no, think about it. It did not
Yeah.
look like
Yeah.
this looks like a college film that someone just like, hey, let's just do something in the woods. Yeah, the plot.
Oh
I
my
don't even know
God.
where to
So
start
true.
with the plot.
There's a plot.
Bas- well, there's like three or four plot lines going on, and none of them make
Yeah.
sense. And we're
Hmm.
gonna try and get you guys through this. Basically, the movie starts off though. There's a guy and a girl just in a cornfield. I guess he's the
Hmm.
corn king because he can eat the most corn, and this is like the biggest bearded guy
God.
ever, drinking
Yeah.
God knows what a bottle. She takes off her top. She runs in the cornfield. There's your blatant nudity of the film,
Very
and
horror movie. And I was surprised. I
I
was
didn't
like,
know.
wow, okay. Titties.
It's the
All
way it
right.
starts, but it is the only titties in the movie. But
Yeah, it
every
is.
horror movie, bad horror movie, has to have them in it. And obviously, she gets eaten
Yes.
by a shark. And yeah, the shark looks like someone just has it at the end of a stick and is running through a cornstalk going num 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 num. I don't know a better way to explain this. And so yes, then it comes why are there sharks in the cornfield? And
Why
there's
was
like a
there corn dildo in the field is my question.
uh,
R- Also that.
a random
Everything was like, yeah, just a random scarecrow, which
scarecrow.
is not the first time it comes up, with a corn dildo in the middle of nowhere. That's what sets up the violence.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone was just drunk and set it up that way. But here's the funny thing: then the guy who is
Mm.
looking for the naked woman loses her, and he sits perfectly on the cornstalk. It's not even
Yeah.
it. They don't even mention it. He's just like, I need to take a nap here, and I'm like, based on the way you're sitting, dude, that corn cob just went up your ass. But there's nothing said.
Yeah,
If he would have been
there's a
like,
slight
oh,
ripping sound.
and that's
There's
about.
a slight little sound that comes with it. I was like, this is terrible.
Oh my god. And yeah, I mean obviously you cannot take this movie seriously. They try and do a
Mm.
few stupid gags in the background. Like I think the part I mean I guess I laughed at a lot of parts, but when the woman is doing like the police tape in the cornfield and like she's just trying to
Yeah.
go around corn and I'm just like, okay, this is that, type of movie and she's wearing like her it looks like her work uniform that she got like a TGI Fridays and they bought the dollar store police badge and just put it right on her. I was like I couldn't read the name behind that was on her uniform, but there was a name behind the badge. I'm like, I bet you that's like her name or the name of the company on the shirt. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Um so do what? I mean, all right. What is your first impressions of this film? I mean, I don't know where
My
to go, but when
first
you started
impressions.
going, how drunk did you need to get to accept this film, basically?
I would say you at least need to drink 9 or 10 beers in order to get this movie's full effect. I mean, my God. In a lot of ways, I feel like the movie understands how stupid it is because there's a lot of call outs to that. But man, oh man, I couldn't tell like if they were in on the joke or if it was the joke. Like for a lot of the movie, especially some of the shots that are in this, and they did a lot of their budget did go to their CGI explosions
Hmm.
that were in this movie and like their random helicopters. They had two different helicopters, by the way. Those guys are flying in. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Like, because with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, like you pretty much know it's a joke from the very beginning. And yeah, the special effects in that movie are ridiculous, but you kind of get the vibe that that's the joke. But this one, I just don't know. And some of the stuff is like random and like egregious, and then there's like weird like political humor in it, like about White Lives Matter and like
Oh
peaceful
my god.
protesters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Oh my god. Yeah. So to lead to that, the political stuff,
Yeah.
I'd hate to say the main character, but there is a cult guy. You know, he believes like
Oh
the
yes.
sharks. He's in one with the sharks. You know, he sees and he feels them, and he's actually doing murders as well. Like he's taking the shark. Like he has a skeleton with shark mouth, or and he's using it
Yeah.
to kill women. But he's
Yep.
doing it to give the blood to the cornfield to raise. I can't tell you. It's some cultish shit. But yes,
Yes.
basically.
Chichi Matul.
So yeah, then the guy is talking about great whites lives matter, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
They're trying to
Oh my
get
God.
political and doing it
Yeah.
horribly wrong. Like, you
Yeah.
know what? Just stick with the cheesy shark things. But all right, so when this guy comes into the cop arrests him because she sees all this fake, hands and brains and heads in the back of his
Oh my
car.
God. So
So
fake.
and then he's talking about being a mass suicide, not excuse me, mad, homicide killer. And then
Yeah.
he's sitting there with her in the interrogation room, which looks like
Yep.
someone's dining room kitchen. Um, so, which I,
Yes.
and I'm like, if you got someone
We've
who's
all been there.
supposedly admitted to killing multiple people, are you having dinner with this guy? Letting him just sit there and talking to him? Like, this seems
Hmm.
off. And then they have like the FBI wanted posters in the back. Did you catch this? Four of them are
Yeah.
the same picture. Four of them are.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering what the fuck that was about. Good set design. But I was like, okay, who's that guy? Is this gonna be like some inside joke? No. No, it
No,
wasn't.
it's just a guy that's trying to bring the sharks back. And then yeah, so there's so many characters. I guess the female cop might be the main. I don't know. There's just so many characters going around from because the guy in the beginning, who's the naked woman, goes in the fields. He gets arrested. The cop's like, "Get your fat ass in jail." I'm like, "Wow, that's a great way to talk to people." And
Yeah.
and then he has a brother who flies in town who runs a paper, and
Who also sells real estate, and who also, by the way, they set up the Sasquatch the whole movie, and I was like, okay, how's this gonna pay off? More to come.
yeah, so he's selling the real estate, and he's doing it because he found Bigfoot in the fields, and that's how he's selling it. Like, so people, he's not one of the fancy magazines or but that's what he's trying to do. Sell the real estate, and Bigfoot go find him, and then
Sure.
yes, yeah, and I. I don't know. I honestly don't know where else to go from here. This is the weirdest movie. So we get meet to a CIA agent. It's Jason Statham wannabe, and then he has a
Yes.
mob meeting in the middle of the woods. This is like the
Yeah.
most. What's
Some
I
random
don't,
kid.
who looks like Beetlejuice? Um,
Yeah, seriously. Yep. Some random kid that looks like Beetlejuice. Um, there's just a like, why does the mafia want shark parts? Or why are they trying to buy it off the black market?
I don't know. I forget why they. I know why the shark cultist wants it because supposedly this is gonna
Sure.
the final thing to summon all the sharks. Or the great.
Who
I
are
don't
already like out there? Like,
swimming
what sharks
or
are we? They're
moving in
swimming
the
in the
fields.
air. Based on the CG that we saw, yes, the CG that they recycled over and over again of like sharks swimming in air in the cornfields.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I don't understand. And then when those two mafia guys who somehow have a helicopter are flying up above the cornfields, one of them has a microphone taped to his face and the other one doesn't. And then he says, "Technology gets me hard."
Yeah.
That happens in this movie. Okay, not that. And Needless to say, that helicopter situation resolved itself by a shark jumping out of the cornfield, and I presume biting the helicopter and causing an explosion.
So yeah, don't forget the other one-liners in this film. Like when the cultist gets arrested, he's like, "Where's your dildo, cop?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck says that? Who the fuck talks
Oh my
like that?"
god, there's
I'm
like
like,
a second dildo reference. Oh my
there's a
goodness.
lot of
What's
sex
with
talk
that?
and one naked person in this whole movie. Oh, so
Yes, there was. Yeah.
all right, there is one part. I mean, out of anything that I guess bothered me or I laughed at the most, and I
Mm.
don't know how to react to this, so I gotta the the parents playing frisbee with the kid. So the
Yeah.
mom and the
Yeah, oh
dad,
yeah,
and
that
she's
did
talking about where
happen.
it's sunscreen, and the shark. The frisbee goes far. The kid goes in the cornfield. The shark eats the kid, and blood all over the frisbee. And then the dad's
Yeah, it's very
looks and it's like
dramatic.
shark, and the woman starts running. The boy's head comes flying and bouncing.
Yeah.
But all that's not what I laughed at. These two parents just lost their kid. And
Yeah.
then how do they deal with it? They're just kind of cuddling each other under an umbrella, going, not even like
Yeah.
crying, just like I'm like, oh my god, they're not in tears, they're not freaked out. They're just like, oh my god, we just lost little Billy. Well, we might as well go home and make dinner soon. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
They
I was
did.
just like, what the fuck is this? And this movie's just so many random things.
Hmm.
It's so unfocused. But yeah, you mentioned Bigfoot, and it pays off in the
Yeah.
end, I guess.
Oh, it sure does. It resolves. The Bigfoot is the Deus Ex Machina of this film. It just comes out, and I was so confused as to what I was even looking at. Because Lady Cop, who I guess just lost her sister, now wants to become a shark,
Or like
and
to bring
her
her
and the
back
serial
somehow.
killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and killer guy, from what I understand, become these really terrible shark costumes.
They come like shark gods. Yeah. And then
Shark gods,
I
yes.
have no other explanation of what to call them. But yes, and then the CIA agent and the brother,
Yeah.
come and see them and they don't know what to do. And then something else has come to the woods and it's Bigfoot with a big boulder
Yes.
who
Yep.
smashes the male god, shark god,
Shark
and then
god.
that's
Yep.
and then just goes away. Just goes away.
Well, Jason Statham then like just runs by and puts a grenade in her crown. He's like, "Have a grenade, bitch!"
And right in the helmet, the
Eh,
Burger King helmet, and she keeps reaching in there, and then, oh my
that was
god,
her weakness. Yeah, exactly. That was her one weakness. Was
a
some
grenade to
guy
the
ran
head.
by with a grenade from a peaceful protest, by the way. And then, what happens in the end? Like, what exactly? What do you make of that?
Well, it's like every cliche horror movie. I mean, even the not so bad ones. It's the two guys who become buddies. They're hugging, shaking hands. They get the car, like, hey, let's go. And
Sure.
as they get in the car, it turns out two other shark enthusiasts are behind them, and basically, puts wire around the throat, starts killing them, and then it says Finn, and
Yeah.
then that's the end of the movie. But the dun dun dun. Could there be a sequel to this? No, please don't. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I did chuckle at the fin part at the end. I was like, 'cause sharks. And I pointed at the screen and was like, oh, look what you did. That's kind of funny. But, wow. Wow. And it was a stunning hour and 45 minutes long.
Yeah, when I first started this, I was thinking it was gonna be an hour and a half or less, and no, when I saw an hour 45, and I have to be honest, the first time I watched, I fell asleep. I missed the last half an hour. Then I had to go back and find where I left off to finish this movie, and I'm just like, oh my
Oh my
god, I have
God.
to watch this 30 minutes again. And this was torture. This was really, really
It's a
bad.
drag.
I
Such a drag when it's this long. Oh my God. Because you're just like, what else is there to say in this movie? And it continues going. Oh, exactly. I mean, for a movie like this that like is supposed to have the budget it has, like, wouldn't it benefit them to make it as short as possible? Wouldn't it benefit at least me?
It would, but they didn't do that. And I believe there's a
God.
DVD of this, which I don't know why anyone wants to
What?
buy the DVD of this. I don't know. When I was looking up pictures, I saw a DVD. So I don't know. I don't care.
How
But
much would you pay for this?
um, I would give it back if I found it on the floor. If it's just on the ground,
Or I put it in the
outside, I'd be
trash.
like, "Did you drop this, sir? No, no, no. You want to see this? I would give this to my worst enemy. Like, here's a free movie for you. Go ahead and watch it. Let me know what you think."
Like I
Um,
don't even want it around. Like I don't even want it as part of my possessions. Like it would somebody would have to pay me for it, and even that would be a lot to carry around that trash. I'm not sure.
but
But yeah, wow. Yeah, definitely one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. Um, I would say I don't know what 0% means on Rotten Tomatoes, but I guess this gets maybe a 1% because it is a movie that has a beginning, middle, and an end, and things happen in it. So it did the bare minimum, but holy moly,
well, I think it had an
can't wait for the
audience
sequel.
score or something like a 10% or 11%, or I don't know. But yeah, yeah.
It's
And for
high.
anyone that's curious about this movie, look up
Hmm.
just like the kills. Just find on YouTube the sharks, get the laugh out of the way. That's all you
Yeah,
need to see. But this is horrible acting, horrible special effects. Um, I,
horrible lighting, horrible
yeah,
sound, horrible everything. Like the sound changes from shot to shot. The coverage is terrible. Everything you would expect an up and coming college student to try to recreate as a movie is what this movie is.
yeah, pretty much. So, anyhow, I doubt anyone has ever seen this movie. If somehow this review
Yeah.
makes you go see Sharks of the Corn, please let us know how bad you
Yes.
think it is. Let us know what you laughed at.
And I'm
I'm not going
sorry.
to ask if if it's good because we know you're going to say it's shit, and that's what this
Oh,
movie
it's
is.
terrible.
But you can't help but laugh at some parts. It is beyond horrible. Um, I have no final words except I'm going to go watch Jaws. I need a good shark movie. I don't know about you.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm gonna literally go watch anything else. Maybe this wall.
Have a good one.